is this really legit? Is it legal? How do we know that, with all of the privacy laws and everything coming out, how can we be sure that the data they're providing us is legitimate data and it's compliant and legal?
Yeah, we never want to break the law or get into trouble there. And there's a lot of that questioning all of this. So you always want to make sure, is this legal? Are they CCPA compliant? And do we have a consumer privacy plan in place? Are they prepared for that? So beyond it being future-proof, do they have a plan to make sure that this is cleaned, that this is data of high quality, that it is sifting out duplicate records? Bill mentioned that the address is pretty solid, and I say it too, it's a gold standard. But you also want to make sure, are we running this through the national change of address records? Does your data vendor have a validation service that they use to make sure that the person still lives there, that this is a valid address that you can mail to? Did that person pass away? Do they still get mail? Did they relocate? There's a lot of maintenance that goes into keeping that data clean and updated, because we're only as strong as the data that we've got. And if the data you've got is outdated by 2 years or 4 years, it's pretty much worthless. So you always want to make sure that, in a cookieless world, you're paying attention to privacy first. We want to make sure it's legitimate, but also connecting it to, the fact that people do move and that things are constantly changing. So if they're pulling data from a source that is not that reliable, that's a big problem. Ask them what kind of things they have in place to make sure that, there is an opt-out plan, that this is getting checked and validated frequently, that it is being audited, and that it does comply with all of the legislation and regulations that are out there right now. And if they're a legitimate data provider, they should have the documents and have a privacy policy ready to go, and ready for you to look at and approve.
Yeah, and I think we should also just mention, for our friends outside of the US, I know we mentioned a lot about the CCPA, but if you're outside of the US, you need to take a look at the GDPR and any other, governmental regulations that you have regarding data. I think for the most part outside of the US, it's a little more strict, but we definitely have guidelines here in the US that we need to follow. But if you are outside of the US, I obviously suggest that you check with an attorney, just to make sure that the data that you're getting is in fact compliant with your local regulations. So,
I had one more thing. Internally, there's lots of other people that you can partner with too. So look for those partners that the data vendor is working with. I know for us, we work with OneTrust. That is an easy company that can help set up that kind of plan and make sure that it's getting everyone that opts out or opts in, it's all vetted through. If someone wants to unsubscribe, we can do that quickly, and that's a legitimate record that it's taken care of. So make sure that they have either a general counsel or a lawyer or a partner that they're working with to make sure that this is right. It's not somebody just deleting records if they don't want them anymore.